Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. According to publicly available records obtained by Global News, Ontario Premier Doug Ford charged taxpayers $143,498,16 for private plane charters over the past year. This represents a significant shift in travel habits for Ford, who has previously positioned himself as a budget-conscious politician and typically flew commercial. The records show that Ford and his staff took 5 separate private flights within a single year for government business, with costs ranging from $1,800 to nearly $9,000 per person. These flights were chartered through the Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry. Destinations included trips to Calgary, Saskatoon, Boston, Washington, D.C., and Ottawa. In response to criticism from Ontario NDP leader Marit Stiles, who called it living the good life at 30,000 feet at the expense of struggling Ontarians, Ford defended the expenses. He claimed that he still flies commercial whenever possible, but stated that chartered flights are sometimes necessary due to the demanding nature of his travel schedule across Canada and the United States, as well as safety concerns on commercial flights. According to a report by the Canadian Press, a new study released by the Canadian Climate Institute suggests that Ottawa's recent energy agreement with Alberta will do little to lower Canada's greenhouse gas emissions. The analysis, authored by principal economist Dave Sawyer, argues that the minimal emission reduction benefits from the Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, are insufficient to offset potential increases in oil production. The primary issue stems from inefficiencies in Alberta's industrial carbon pricing system. Although the agreement aims to raise the effective industrial carbon price to $130 per ton by 2040, it simultaneously relaxes stringency rates, giving industries more leniency on emissions. Sawyer's study warns that this leniency will create an oversupply of low-cost carbon credits after 2030, allowing companies to rely on cheap credit stockpiles rather than investing in real emissions reduction technology. Consequently, the deal may lead to paper compliance instead of actual carbon cuts, leaving Canada's long-term emissions trajectory virtually unchanged. According to a report by the Canadian Press, Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney is scheduled to announce the federal government's new artificial intelligence strategy in Toronto today. As part of the rollout, Carney is slated to tour an artificial intelligence institute and meet with local researchers to discuss the government's blueprint. The upcoming strategy arrives at a crucial time as governments, businesses, and civil society navigate the rapid advancement of machine learning and generative tools. Artificial Intelligence Minister Evan Solomon noted earlier this week that the federal strategy is designed to build trust in AI, empower workers, and support Canada's growth. To establish this trust, the government plans to emphasize new privacy and online safety laws. Additionally, the comprehensive plan is expected to tackle sovereign digital infrastructure, provide targeted support for Canadian businesses, foster international coordination, and enhance training and education programs for Canadians nationwide. According to a report by the Canadian Press, the British Columbia Review Board has granted a conditional discharge to Allan Schoenborn, who was found not criminally responsible in 2010 for the brutal 2008 killings of his 3 children in Merritt. BC said, under the terms of the written disposition issued by Chairperson Genevieve Boudreau, Schoenborn, who legally changed his name to Ken John Johnson in 2021, must attend a psychiatric clinic for treatment. He is also required to reside at the Forensic Psychiatric Hospital in Coquitlam, BC, if ordered to do so by the board. Additionally, the conditions dictate that Schoenborn must remain on good behavior, report any intimate relationships, and is prohibited from possessing or using weapons and drugs. The BC government previously passed legislation blocking serious criminals from legally changing their names in response to Schoenborn's 2021 name change. This conditional discharge disposition is subject to review in 1 year. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.